Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Taekook Arranged Marriage. I hope you will have it. Others POV, those words of Jungkook forced Taehyung came back to the reality with a glint of tears in his eyes. He almost thought all of that was real. Posing his emotions and put on a fake smile, they broke the hug. It's okay, I can understand, they whispered, so only Jungkook can hear it. So I told you, be he will be fine in a few minutes, Mrs. Kim said. Taekook's attention went towards their talk as all the family members came towards the hall. Inside his room, why did he have to come here and ruin my holiday? Taehyung whispered to himself, I can hear you, Jungkook said as he was taking off his watch. Thank God you can. I thought you were deaf. Also, along with being dumb, they said, looking on to Jungkook, who told you to come here at this hour? Can't you go straight to your home? Listen, I already did not came here at my own will. Mom told me that I need to pick you up, but that doesn't mean you will come at this hour. It's almost 12:30. I have early morning meetings tomorrow. I will be busy and the day I had no other option than to come today. You know what? It's useless to talk to you, Taehyung said, huffing in anger. I also think like that, Jungkook said and went past him to go to washroom. After a few minutes, you should look at yourself in the mirror once, Taehyung said, looking at his poker face as Jungkook came out of the washroom after having a shower. Jungkook ignored him and was about to go other side of the room, but the mattress caused him to slip and fall on the bed on top of Taehyung. They were looking onto each other's eyes, their breath mingling with each other, hearts beating at fast rate, making them completely lost in each other. In that moment, Jungkook softly tugged Taehyung's hair, stand behind his ear to get a better view of his face. They tightened his hold on his t-shirt, pulling Jungkook a little more closer. Their intense longing pulling them towards each other, making them forget about their differences. They saw him leaning closer towards him, Jungkook's breath fanning on his lips due to the proximity. They could tell his lips were inching apart. Jungkook looked at Tae for his consent, which Taehyung gave by closing his eyes, and Jungkook leaned further with his eyes closed, almost touching his lips. With Jungkook, I want to ask, Taehyung stuttered, wanting to ask his heart out. Please ask, Jungkook whispered, huskily kissing Taehyung's yellow red nozzle, his face in the crook of Taehyung's neck, inhaling the addictive smell, making Taehyung close his eyes again. Why do you hate me? He stuttered, being unable to form any sentence due to the sensation of Jungkook leaving fiercely kisses down his neck. I don't hate you, Tae. I didn't want to get married to you because I am a cold person famous for his cruelty, and I didn't want to hurt you, Tae hummed. But it seems like you hate me a lot since we met, Jungkook said, smirking in between his kisses. Here Taehyung is taking heavy breaths, trying his best to stop himself from making voice. The pleasure he is getting is new to him, something he has never expected before, yet addicting. Getting driven by pleasure, they gave more assist to Jungkook by bending his neck. Jungkook smiled, seeing his husband cooperate, and started leaving wet kisses and mark all over his neck. A cry escaped from Taehyung's mouth due to the intensity, and Tae bit his lips to hold them back. Let them out, Tae. Don't hold them. Jungkook whispered in his deep voice, and the voice which making Taehyung's knees go weak. Ah! Taehyung cried again as Jungkook continued leaving wet kisses on the other side of his neck. Taehyung was a crying mess by now due to the sensation of his kisses. But before things go further, a knock on the door caught Taehyung's attention. Jungkook, up, leave me. He cried because Jungkook mocked him being unbothered by the knock. Why? Someone at the door. They might see us, they said. Next day, he stayed for a few minutes. Why are you so keen to going home? Why? Asked Taehyung. I came here in the evening and it's about dinner time. How long do you want me to stay here? Whole life. Wayne laughed. Taehyung rolled his eyes at her reply. He wants to go to home and take a relaxing bath. All of that happening in his room has messed up his mind badly, and he needs to get all those out of his mind. But to his luck, Wayne called him in the meantime when he was about driving back. Jeon mentioned and forced him to come to her place, and she was not letting him go home. Hey, is that kissing mark? Jean asked, out of nowhere, pointing at his neck. Taehyung's eyes were about to pop out of his socket. In no time. No, it's not Hyung, he said, immediately covering his neck. It's not, he repeated again. Do I look like a fool to you? Now you will say it's a mosquito bite. Taehyung crushed both Jungkook and himself slightly. Jungkook for leaving a mark and himself for not noticing it before coming here. No wonder why you didn't wanted to come here, Wayne said, smirking. You all are misunderstanding. It is not what you are trying. You try your best explaining about it, me, but I know what it is. And what it is? Hobie asked suddenly. The three got shocked, seeing Hobie there, and looked at each other in confusion about what to say now. Home, Taehyung want to go home by himself at this time, and I am convincing him to call Jungkook to pick him up. Jin said, Oh, I have already done that, Hyung. He must be here in few minutes. Hobie said, What? Taehyung stood up in shock. He's coming here to pick me? Yes, but why are you getting shocked? Hobie asked. No, I'm not shocked. It's just that he must be tired from working all day. I could have managed somehow, but since you have already called him, so nothing can be done now, Taehyung said, forcing a smile. Inside the car, cover it properly, it's still visible, Jungkook said, while driving as Taehyung was constantly pulling his shirt collar to hide the mark. What is visible? Taehyung tried to sound confused. The mark, Jungkook said, smirking, being proud of his work. Taehyung just looked at him, murmuring few curses. Jungkook mentally laughed, hearing him curses, and me being dumb. What expected him to not notice when he is the reason behind it, he whispered to himself, turning sideways and looking outside the window. At home, I am having this feeling that things are not going well between you and Jungkook since that incident of breakfast, and trust me, I am very guilty about that. So if there is something that I can do to make things better between both of you, then please tell me. I will be glad to help you. Taekook were in their room. Kai came in and said innocently to Taehyung, I was wrong. I shouldn't have fought with Jungkook because of you, Taehyung said in his mind and said, sorry to break your bubble of yours, but there are no issues between us. We are very much happy with each other. And for doing something, if you will stop roaming around our room, then it would be great help. And also don't forget to stay miles away from Jungkook. Taehyung said and went past Kai, cause if he will stay one more minute with him, then Kai will definitely end up in hospital. As Taehyung started noticing Kai's act, and Kai stood there with his mouth open wide after getting badly insulted. Jungkook looked up from his laptop screen as he saw the door getting open, thinking it must be Taehyung. But his mood got more worse seeing Kai. You still have the audacity to come here even after getting badly insulted by my husband. Yes, Jungkook heard all that and laughing internally, but now seeing Kai, he got angry. Huh? Kai asked in confusion. I'm here to give whatever it is, keep it there and leave, Jungkook said, cutting him off. As Kai has came to here with a file, do not get suspicious and mark my husband's word, Jungkook said with a evil smile. Kai kept the folder on the table and left from there after getting much insulted by both of them, but not before murmuring, you both will pay for this. I love you, Jungkook, but you insulted me because of him. It is not good. Others POV reflecting of sunlight hit Taehyung's eyes. He wiggled in his sleep and turned to the other side. Two arms hugged him softly, bringing Taehyung close. They smiled in his sleep and nestled his head onto Jungkook's chest, still closing his eyes, not wanting to get up and lose a chance of being in his husband's arm, which is not less than a beautiful dream. Meanwhile, Jungkook is busy admiring his husband's beauty, long, beautiful lashes hiding those graceful black eyes, which are so deep as ocean, in which he gets drowned every single time. A small cute nose which turns red whenever Taehyung gets angry, and his soft pink lips which Jungkook wants to kiss so badly and wake Taehyung up, but he is waiting to get Taehyung's consent first, which Jungkook has not get yet. Jungkook also doesn't want to rush things and scare his husband and ruin this beautiful bond that has created between them in the short span of 2 months. Tae slowly opened his eyes to find Jungkook already staring at him. Taehyung's heart skipped a beat at this. Heaven, Jungkook whispered. Huh? Tae asked, crying. Nothing, Jungkook said. Not you. Nothing, Jungkook said. No, you said something, Cook. Just tell me what it is. Tae insisted. You know what? Leave this matter. I have to go early today, so I better get ready, Jungkook said. Was about to get out of bed, but Tae got a hold on his hand and stopped him from going. No, first answer my question, demanded Jungkook. Just stare at him, but he didn't budge. You will not let me go till I answer you, right? Yes, they nodded. Okay, I said heaven. So what are you referring to here? Thanks was got cut off due to phone call. Sorry, I have to take this. They Jungkook said and went to attend the call. After an hour, Taehyung, you didn't eat anything, Mrs. Jan said to Taehyung. No, Mom, I'm done, Taehyung said. At least have some coffee and don't worry, it's not black one, Mrs. Jian said. Taehyung clenched and looked beside himself to see Jungkook's irritated face. Kai, please pass this to Taehyung, Mrs. Jian said, giving him the coffee mug. As Kai is sitting beside Taehyung, yes, Kai is still here because he started working in Jungkook's company as Kai requested Jungkook's appa. and he gave him a job in Jungkook's company. Keep it here, Taehyung said to Kai. Drink it now, otherwise it will be get cold. Kai said, giving Tae the coffee. Thanks for your concern, but I can manage, Tae said, pushing Kai's hand back. You are not understand, Kai said, forwarding the mug, but got cut off by Jungkook as the coffee about to get spilled on Taehyung, but Jungkook pushed Kai's hand back a little roughly. Oops, Taehyung said, getting up. I'm sorry, I didn't saw your hand, Cook, Tae said, observing his hand because Jungkook's hand got burned instead of Taehyung's as Jungkook covered Taehyung's hand with his on the right time. It's nothing, but you are okay? Jungkook asked. Taekook room. This is 20th time you are saying sorry, Tae, Jungkook said, but here the fault is mine. I shouldn't have argued with Kai. It's okay, besides it was an accident, and for a reason an accident is called an accident, so it's not your fault, Jungkook said, consoling his worried husband. Still, everything got ruined because of me. You had to leave early today, but here you are sitting and getting your first aid done, they said, pouting. It's okay, I am the CEO and nobody will question me for being late. I can go and leave anytime, Jungkook said, smiling at his pouting husband. But someone has to leave very soon, Jungkook whispered the last part. Jeon Industries. After hearing a comment, Kai got in his cabin. You called me, Jungkook? He asked. Jungkook was reading a file previously, but close it and keep it aside because this is more important than that file now. Yeah, I have something for you, Kai. Here, take this, Jungkook said, sliding the envelope towards him. What it is? What is this for, Jungkook? Kai asked, picking up the envelope. This is your today's ticket to your hometown, Kai's eyes widened, hearing Jungkook. What? I didn't book the tickets, and what about my job? Kai questioned, being shocked. I forgot one thing, Jungkook said, looking for out another envelope from the drawer. This is your termination letter. Today I am giving you this because as per the notice, today is your last day of working here, Jungkook said. Jungkook, stop this prank, Kai said. No, this is not prank and no excuse will work. Now, if you think that Dad can help you in this, then you are wrong because he cannot, Jungkook said, looking at Kai. No, it cannot happen. He assured me that he will help me in the problem and will make sure that you don't fire me. Kai was shocked. He cannot be back out now. He was panicking. That's not my problem. As long as I am in the position of CEO, the company will run under my condition. So take this and leave. A car is waiting for you outside with your luggage, so you don't need to bother yourself to take the pain to go back home and get it. Now leave, Jungkook said. No, I will not leave, Kai shouted. I will not leave from here, he repeated again and again, fainting heavily. Jungkook sighed heavily and massaged his temple because he knew it would be tough to make Kai understand. Listen, I am being polite to you, but doesn't mean that you will test my patience. I am going to ask you to politely leave from here, Kai. Otherwise, I have other ways too. How can you do this to me? What wrong did I do to you, Jungkook? Kai said, started crying. What is special about him that you cannot find in me? It was an arranged marriage. You don't even love him. He is not even that beautiful like me. I am much more beautiful than him. Just look at me once like how you look at him. You never look at me even when he is not around, just once, and you will realize that I am right. You know I love you, Jungkook. You can't love He can't love you as me. Kai said, stop joking, Kai, and I don't care who is beautiful and who is not. In my eyes, he is most beautiful man I have ever came across, and no one can ever beat his beauty. So if you are done with this drama, then leave from here before I call the security to kick you out. How can you do this to me, Jungkook? I loved you with my everything and you are doing this to me. Stop with this nonsense of yours, Jungkook said, getting up from a chair. If you had really loved me, then you would have not played those games. What do you think, that I will not get to know about it? Just because I don't have any proof against you, that doesn't mean you are innocent. I very well know that you are behind this incident of turmeric. Love can earn, not snatch. You will never get my love. Even if I would have single and I would have told you thousands times that I do not love you. My heart belongs to my husband and only to him. Now please give some respect to yourself and leave. After crying the whole time, Kai wiped his tears, gathering himself up. Fine, I'm going, Kai said and walked towards the door, but turned around for the last time. But remember one thing, if you cannot be mine, then I wouldn't let you be his. Also, he will leave you, and that day you will get to know what it feels to get your heart broken by the person whom you love the most, Kai said and left. Others POV, Jimin and Yoongi were together because Jimin had to work with Yoongi in his company, as Mr. Jeon was feeling guilty for making Kim's company lose some of their investors when he proposed Taekook's marriage. At first, Mr. Jeon had thought Mr. Kim will not accept this proposal, so he would have to force him, and for Jungkook's happiness, he did all. But now that Jungkook was happily married with Taehyung, his appa was feeling guilty, so he sent Jimin to Mr. Kim's company to correct his mistake by improving their investment and all. But as usual, they fought again. Jimin, he heard Yoongi calling him from behind, but Jimin didn't stop it and continued walking. Jimin, he again ignored Yoongi, but as he was about to ring the bell, he got pulled by him and turned back. He saw him holding a big bouquet of red roses. Sorry, Yoongi said, kneeling in front of Jimin. Huh? I'm sorry, he said with his genuine emotions. For what? Jimin asked in confusion. For everything. For annoying you since day one till today. For making you angry and pissing you off. By forcing you to make coffee for me and other things. I'm sorry, please forgive me. That was my stupidity, but I don't want to be more stupid by ignoring my feelings. I know it's very soon, but I promise we will take things slow for you to get comfortable. I will not make any promise, but we will keep those unsaid promises till my last breath. Will you be the reason of my those unsaid promises? Yoongi asked, forwarding the bouquet towards Jimin and looked into his eyes. Jimin was stunned, hearing his confession. Never in million years he expected this. He was so much in shock that he couldn't speak anything. It's okay, I got my answer. You don't need to say anything, Yoongi said, getting up in a broken voice after not getting any reply. I'm sorry for making you uncomfortable. I promise you I wouldn't facing me again, Yoongi said with his tears-filled eyes and turned around, hanging his head low, only to get pulled into a passionate kiss.